So I'm gonna wait a little bit because that was fun. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be jumping back on. So I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes here to get back on. Maybe I'll open up my salmon while I'm waiting. You can do that. I'm gonna try to wait at least a minute. For those of you who are watching the replay, you might want to fast forward a little bit here. I'm gonna wait until I see some people on. Hey, there's 2 people on. So, funny story, y'all. So we're talking, and I angle the camera down to start cooking. And YouTube decides at that very second that it's going to end my live stream and update. So, that was fun. So anyway, I have not cooked anything, just in case you're jumping back on. For whatever reasons, it had to update that very second, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, all you've missed is I have now opened both of my cans of salmon. I'm going to go drain them over the sink. You can use fresh salmon for this recipe too. It's good either way. I just don't have any, so. Okay. Haven't missed anything. So we got our salmon cans open. I'm going to angle the camera down now, and I'm hoping that YouTube doesn't select to have another update. Let's give it a shot. It's the worst thing that can happen, right? Okay, here we are. I'm going to go ahead and dump these in. These cans were $5.46 a piece. So, as with any other canned salmon, there will be a few bones. So I typically will go through and try and pull those out because I obviously don't want those in my patties. Usually Azures aren't too bad. And I typically just leave the skin that's in there. It's not going to hurt anything. No one's going to be able to tell. This is a great way to use up salmon. It's a great way to get some extra nutrients in your family by eating fish. I've also purchased salmon from Azure Standard before in the bags. It comes in like 1-pound bags. That works just as well as this. It's already all shredded, which is kind of nice. I'm just mainly going through this to try and find the bones because little Naomi loves these, and I would sure hate for her to get bones in her mouth. So, as I was saying before everything got cut off, there's a few of you that have placed some orders, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much. The orders started coming in pretty much the day that we were coming home. And so, just bear with me. Your orders are coming. I got both of the 2 orders shipped today, and I have a 3rd one that I need to do. It's just I have not had a second to breathe since getting home. It's been kind of crazy. So your stuff is coming. Don't worry, it's coming. It's just, it took me a few days to get home and get readjusted. So, our trip was amazing. I'll talk about our trip because I know a lot of you guys are wanting to hear about that while I clear the bones out here. Our trip was amazing. We visited the Black Hills of South Dakota, and that's where both of us grew up, so we know a lot of things that are already over there that are fun. And our first stop was in the little town of Hot Springs, and there is a hot springs pool there. They have like water slides and everything, and it's essentially a building that's been built over a hot spring. And they built it before, you know, the government would come in and say, hey, you know, you can't do that because of the environment. So anyway, it's cool, right? It's 87 degrees. And the further to the one side of the pool you get, the closer you get to the actual spring. And that spring is so warm, so the pool gets warmer that way, the more you go to that side of the pool. So anyway, I went there as a child and I hated it because it has river rock on the bottom of the pool, and I thought that was disgusting because you guys have to remember, I was not who I am today. This is not how I was raised. This does not come easily to me. This is something, all things I show you guys are all skills I've had to learn. I lived in town growing up. did not have a garden, did not know how to preserve things, did not know how to cook from scratch because we grew up on processed foods. And so I've had to learn everything you guys see here on the channel. I'm going to go wash my hands real quick. Oven is preheated to 350 degrees. In any event, so I thought it was disgusting, and I also hated the fact that the pool didn't smell like chlorine. This is when I was a kid. So now coming full circle back as an adult, I loved it. I loved that it didn't smell like chlorine. Praise the Lord. Really, really enjoyed that. And so it was amazing. It was so much fun. We stayed there for about 2 hours. And then little Naomi started to get cold. Just because she's a little baby, you know, but she stayed in there for pretty much the full 2 hours and had fun. I went down the water slides with the kids, and my husband did. It was so much fun. And so that was our very first stop. And then I will tell you that I don't know how many of you guys, this is going to kind of sound woo-woo, but I don't know how many of you guys can feel energy, but I'm one of the people that can feel energy. And so when I got to the water to me felt like when you get really excited about something, and so you have like your chest kind of gets tight and like butterfly feeling. That's what the water felt like to me. So it was really, really cool. We stayed there as long as we could. We were all shriveled when we got out. Okay, next ingredient, 1 onion. So I actually got out this huge onion, and I was going to use it because I technically need 2. Oh, Sharon, so you know what I'm saying then? Yeah, it's amazing, and swimming there was amazing. I told my husband that if we had one here, I would just buy a season pass and we'd be there twice a week, because it just like was so, the energy coming off the water when you're in it was like so overwhelming. It was just really cool. Anyway, back to the onion. I'm not doing a whole onion because my husband doesn't like onion chunks. So I'm instead going to do like a half of a tablespoon of onion powder. And I'm actually going to double that because I'm making twice the recipe. There we go. So 1 tablespoon of onion powder or onion granules, whatever you got. Okay, next ingredient is red bell pepper, which I have to go grab. Hang on 1 second here. I chopped these red bell peppers and froze them before I left for the trip, so I'm gonna have to kind of whack them here. All right, so we need 1 whole red bell pepper. I'm going to do just a little bit more whacking. Anyway, so we thoroughly enjoyed the pools, and we there's like a water slide part and a deeper part where people can do like rings across the pool, and then it flows into an outdoor pool. So super cool. Anyway, so we love that. And after we got out, we were really exhausted and actually sent our bodies into a detox, which I was not planning on. So I had a couple of kids that got some rashes and like a headache. Someone else got a headache. It was just kind of interesting. But that's how our bodies do a sudden detox like that, is trying to push things out. So anyway, it was great though. We had some, bug bites on the kids' heel, and so it went really, really well. Anyway, so then we went to our cabin, which was great. It was an amazing cabin. Up in the forest with a nice porch on the front and tweeting birds, and you feel like you're all by yourself. Okay, I'm going to finish this recipe so you guys can have the recipe, and then I'll form the stuff up and talk. So we're switching. So now we need a half a cup of breadcrumbs, but I don't have breadcrumbs right now. I do have coconut flour, so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm actually going to be doubling it because I'm doubling the recipe today. So I'm going to do a whole cup of coconut flour. There we go. Or 1 cup of breadcrumbs, okay? Then 2 eggs if you're using breadcrumbs, but because I'm using coconut flour, it's going to need about 6. Gotta grab some more eggs here. The people who are doing chores could not believe that we get 3 dozen eggs a day. I think they were just expecting like 6 or something, and I'm like, no, I have a chicken addiction, so we get a lot of eggs. So like I said, I'm going to go for about 6 here because of the coconut flour, but only 2 eggs if you're going to be using regular breadcrumbs. I just don't have any. We had some when we came back home because we had some sourdough stuff, but that's all eaten now. Okay, so eggs are in. So then we need 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to do 2 because I am doubling. That's almost a half of a tablespoon. There we go. Worcestershire sauce. And we need garlic salt, but I actually don't ever stock garlic salt. What I do is I take the recipe and I divide it by 2. So I need 2 teaspoons of garlic salt. So instead I'm going to do half of a teaspoon. Let's see, no, 2 teaspoons. So then I need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. So 50-50. So if your recipe called for 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, I just take it and it'd be half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I gotta grab my salt. So I'm on the table for making pickles. Okay, so we're almost done here, and then we'll continue on with our story here. So one teaspoon of each. Now I'm just gonna mix it. And then we're gonna get going on this whole thing right here. So anyway, we did the swimming, went back to our cabin, which was amazing. And I thought, man, we're gonna get such a good night's sleep. Well, it turns out that baby girl is not used to being like sleeping other places. She's only slept at our house her whole life. And so kind of hit a brick wall with that, and what ended up happening was I only got like 1 hour of sleep, which wasn't very nice. And the next morning, everybody woke up. I wish I could have slept in, but we had to hike that 6.5 to 7 mile hike that morning. So anyway, yes, I made it. Yes, I'm still alive. We made it all the way up to the top without any problems. I mean, I was really tired, so I kept having to take breaks. But what I learned was my body's amazing. It can even hike a 6.5 to 7 mile hike on 1 hour sleep. Pretty crazy. But anyway, so basically what ended up happening was we got to the top, and then we ended up getting caught in a torrential downpour rain for over an hour, mixed with penny-sized hail. So it was kind of rough. So I want to show you guys something really quick. So this is a regular hamburger press. What I learned is that these little baking cups from If You Care fit right in it. So your hamburgers, and in this case, are salmon patties, don't have to stick at all. So I'm going to put one on the bottom, I'm going to put my stuff in and put this on, and then go ahead and smush it. It works amazing. I'm also going to line this pan with some parchment paper. Just washing my hands off there really quick. You're going to want to do parchment paper. I've tried to do like healthy fat, like a lard or whatever, and they kind of stick. So either they stick or they end up super, super mushy. And I don't like either of those outcomes, so we're going to go with the parchment paper. Alright, I'm just going to get myself a little scoop here. And I actually have to fill my canner, so I'm just going to take you guys with me. I need to add some water to my water bath canner, so just 1 second here. I noticed it while I was over here washing my hands. This is like the best $150 I've ever spent on myself. No regrets buying this at all. I'm not an affiliate. I make no money if you buy one. It's from Roots and Harvest. Amazon sells them. It is an electric water bath canner. I love this. It's keeping it at a boil. I don't have to watch it except for the water line. I have a double burner stove outside that I use in my water bathing on, but when it's windy, it can blow the flames, and then, you know, your boil goes up and down, which is really, really frustrating, whereas this can be even done outside. I put this outside on a picnic table before, and then just set it to boil, and it just boils away, and I just have to check on it once in a 3-hour water bath. I'm going to go ahead and add the water. Reset my timer a little bit there. Anyway, this was so worth the money. I haven't made broth with it yet, but I can everything in this, and because I switched over to Amish canning 3 years ago, I do a lot of water bath canning, and I use this and use this and use this for a lot of things. Like I said, right now it has 4 jars of broth in it, and earlier it had some pickles. Let's get in a little workout today. There we go. Okay, now back to cooking. Sorry for that little break. Let's head on over here. Okay, so now we're going to make some patties. So like I said, these nice little baking cups fit right into here. So slick. And I'm going to go ahead and take a third of a scoop here. A little measuring cup. And then that's how I'm going to make my patties. I use a third of a scoop for like, even like muffins and stuff. I don't know, I just like that size. Let's see if it turns out with a patty. Yep. There it is. Not too shabby. I'll probably give that one to Naomi because it's a little bit on the thinner side. And maybe I will go up a little bit for us. Let's try a half a cup. Although it wouldn't hurt somebody to have 2 of them. Alright, let's try half a cup, see if it gets too big. Kind of looks too big. We'll see. Anyway, I just love this because it's like so slick. So now this is a lot thicker of a burger, so that's kind of nice. A little salmon patty. These just have so much flavor. I just love them. And if you don't have a husband that's against onion, you can use a real onion, which will actually bulk up how many patties you get because it's, you know, it's more ingredients that take up more space than a powder. That's how easy it is. Anyway, so we got hit by a bad hailstorm and torrential downpour rain for over an hour. We were all completely soaked. William had welts on him from the hail hitting him. We tried to seek cover, but when you're on a trail and all you got is trees and you've got, you know, penny-sized hail, it's brutal. It pretty much goes through the trees. So it was crazy. It was definitely a crazy time. We'll not forget that hike the rest of our lives. But I'm so proud of myself that I was able to do it because I had been walking a couple of miles every day, sometimes every other day, just like trying to get ready for the hike. And so, yeah, I actually would like to see how much faster I could do it with more than 1 hour of sleep. All right. Anyway, so then after that, we were all soaking wet, and because we had such horrible weather, we had to stop several times on the trail and seek shelter, whatever shelter we could find. And pretty much what ended up happening was we had already bought some train tickets for an 1880 steam-powered train that I rode growing up, so it wasn't anything new to me, but my kids had never ridden it. And to make a long story short, we were planning on getting to the town that that's in and grabbing some lunch and having some leisure time before we boarded the train. What ended up happening is that storm was so long and it delayed us so much because not only was it hailing and raining, but then when you're on a very, very, very steep, like thousands and thousands of a foot drop of a hiking trail, all the water runs down like where you're hiking. And so it's like walking through a river plus the hail, which is essentially ice. So it was just nuts. And it delayed us enough where we were too late to change. We couldn't change. So we were soaking wet, and then there wasn't enough time for lunch, which was so sad because it's a 2-hour train ride. So we get down to the bottom of my, and I know all this as a mom. I just haven't disclosed it to my family quite yet, so I'm like laughing. And I'm like, when I say wet, I mean like you're outside, torrential downpour like rain, like 1.5 inches of rain for an hour. So like you've got like rain running down your neck from your hair. That's how soaked we were. And so I'm laughing because I realize we're going to be a really big sight to the public after this, which is kind of funny. My family didn't know. And so when we got down to the very, very bottom, my 2 teenagers asked, so we get to go back to the cabin and change before we go out for dinner and ride the train, right? And I had to break it to them that wasn't going to happen. I can't say they were very happy at that point. But anyway, I improvised because I'm the only one with bangs now, right? So I went into the bathroom, and you know those like hand hair dryer things that they have in the bathroom. Yeah, I use that to blow my bangs down so they wouldn't be all wild. It actually works quite well. But anyway, so then we got to the town where the train was and checked in for our tickets and received our tickets. So we were waiting to board. We had about a 20-minute wait, so it wasn't enough time to grab any sort of dinner. And so we were completely blessed by a stranger. There was an older gentleman, and he walked over to my husband, and he must have seen that we were soaking wet and like a little down on our luck. We probably looked homeless, to be honest. I don't know, but anyway, he said that he and his wife had just been to the pizzeria down the road, and that they had an entire container of leftover, still warm Hawaiian pizza. And I tell you what, we opened that thing up and there were 7 pieces. And so it was enough for everybody to have a little bit of something, plus Naomi to snack off of everybody else. And it held us over for our train ride so we could take our train ride and come back and then grab something to eat. So that was a huge blessing. I don't suppose that person watches my channel, but if you do, thank you so much for that pizza, because we were so hungry after the hike and had no time to grab food. Anyway, and then, let's see, after the train was dinner, and then we headed back to our cabin for the night, which was good because we all slept and snored so well after that huge long hike. And then the next morning was just like visiting friends that we know inside the area, and so that was fun. We got some horseback riding in. I got to see one of you guys, Julie. My family had an amazing time at your farm. Thank you so much for the invite. Well, you guys call them ranches out there. Thank you so much for having my family out to your ranch, Julie. We had so much fun. It was so nice to meet you. Meet a subscriber I've never met before. It was a blast. Thank you so much. Anyway, so we did some horseback riding and then went to our Airbnb for the night. And then after that is just wedding stuff because I was in someone's wedding. But that was a blast as well. And then we didn't return home until late Wednesday night. But it was a very, very, very full trip. Having a break from the farm was amazing. I did come home to a fridge full of milk because the people who milked for me didn't exactly know what to do with it. So I've been making cheese like crazy and trying to get things caught up as well as like picking the garden and trying to get that stuff preserved. So it's been a little bit nuts. All right, I'm going to go throw this away, put this in the freezer. I'll be right back, you guys. And then we're going to put those into the oven. Also going to wash the stuff off my hands. Hang on one second. Okay, so these are going to slip on into the oven, 350 degrees, and we're going to bake them for about 30 minutes. These aren't going to get crispy. If you coated them in breadcrumbs and fried them, they would get crispy. But these are still really, really good. Our kids love them. And it just tastes so good. The taste in them is so good. And I don't like fish. I'm someone who doesn't like fish. I don't like salmon. My brother and my dad used to go fishing when I was a girl, and I used to sit at the edge of the lake and scream for them to swim away. So anyway, I was kind of an animal rights person back then. And I still love to give animals their best life, but they didn't appreciate me yelling when they were trying to fish. I'm going to go ahead and set a 30-minute timer so I don't forget. There we go. So I do want to show you guys a couple of things here really quick. We have a big storm building, so I'm not going to stay on here too late. It's building to the west of us, and it's supposed to pass over us. Okay, so let me see, where did I put it? I gotta find it. How should I put it up here? How should I put it away? Maybe? Is it up there? It's okay, baby girl. I must have left it out. Let me look around for a second. It is the cookbook that I used to make those pickles. Here it is. Okay, just a minute. We can get that out once you get it out. So, this cookbook is amazing. When I got into the Amish canning, the alternative canning, we'll call it that, The Make It Make channel here on YouTube featured this cookbook, and she still has her video up where you can order it. This is so worth ordering. The only thing I don't like about it, I'm just going to be honest, is like in my cookbook there's only one salmon cake, okay? Or in my cookbook there's only one creamy cheesy chicken enchiladas. But in this Amish cookbook there's got to be like 10 dill pickles, which is kind of frustrating because you're like, well, which one's good? But the thing is, they're all good. That's why they're inside the cookbook. But they have like 10 dill pickles, and there's like a bunch of like tomato soup recipes and marinara sauce recipes, and there's got to be like 8 pizza sauce recipes. But anyway, this is all 100% alternative canning. So go check out Make It Make, and then kind of scroll through her videos if you're interested in this. She does have a video up on how to purchase it from the Amish. So anyway, it's really, really good. It's all low sugar to no sugar, so it's super good.
She needs a cup.
Do you need a cup? You ready to drink? Do you have the milk out? Okay. Why don't you bring it over here?
2 cups.
Okay.
Or 3 cups.
I was also gifted this on my vacation. It's called the Magic of Rhubarb. It's another cookbook. And so anyway, I'm going to be altering this because it has sugar in almost every recipe, but we're going to see what I can do with some of these recipes. I'm excited. Okay, so the children are here, so we're going to do some milk real quick. If you guys have any other questions, you guys can put them down in the chat, okay? Hey, Julie. I was just talking about you. I don't know if you got to hear it or not. Thanks for having us out to your ranch. The kids had fun. And I did too. All right, we're going to divvy out the milk. See what little mouths want some. Naomi, did you want some? Okay, just a minute. I know. Just give me a minute, I'll get you some. Grayson, did you want some?
Yes.
Okay. The green one?
Yeah.
Must mean yellow. It's kind of yellow green, this one. Can you just wait a second, because she's really gonna want it like the second you touch it. And so I just want a chance to get some milk into her cup. Oh, there's other new stuff coming too, you guys. I am just about to start recording some classes that I'm going to be partnering with my naturopathic doctor, and her link's down below. And so as soon as I get them done, they will be up on her website. Come here, baby. But we're going to be covering things like, yeah, who's that? That's you. Okay, yep. The classes are going to cover things like child nutrition, meals and stuff for your first foods for your baby, things to feed toddlers and young children. And then there's also going to be stuff for obviously adults, just basically courses that you can find out the why behind a lot of what I cook here, the nutrient dense stuff and why I choose to do things the way I choose to do them. There's also going to be a tooth healing course. So there's going to be a lot of courses available with a ton of information. I just have to find the time to record it all. And so that's the next to-do list thing for me for this summer and fall. Who is that? That's you. Aren't you cute? Oh, you see the kitty behind you? Look. It's right there. Yeah. Don't let the kitty in the milk. There you go. So anyway, that's coming up as well. That'll be available through her website. She has a specific list of topics that I need to cover. So I'm going to be making those courses. What else is new? Cucumbers are rocking. The garden is amazing. I need to do another tour. It exploded while we were gone, which I was kind of anticipating, but not really. So luckily we mulched it right before we left, and so the weeds are a minimum, which is good. You're all dirty. Were you outside?
Yeah, she's out playing inside the fort that we built.
Oh, you're playing outside in the fort? Okay.
Making music.
Yeah, oh, making music. What kind of music? Oh, don't choke. Somebody wants attention. You got it? Are you done now? I'm excited for her to get a little bit bigger so that the next time we take a trip, she'll enjoy it a little bit more than what she did this time. There was just a lot of sitting for her, and like even the hike, that was the day after our 6-hour car ride. And so then she was in the pack on my husband's back for 5 hours. And so it's just a lot of sitting for her. What, are you okay? Okay, we're good. Ooh. Yeah. So anyway, we're supposed to get some severe weather tonight. I'm hoping they're wrong. Right now it looks like wind and hail are the greatest risk, so that's fun. So hopefully my garden plants duck and hide. Did you get it? You're almost out, Lovey. And then that'll be it. I'm trying to think of what else is new. What else is new, Graceland? Lots of cheese making. Yeah. Which has been great. We've been discussing possibly switching to a dairy cow. That's new. For the kittens, we got some kittens, yeah. Are you dad? You just want someone to say hello over there? You're too cute. Are you done? Are you all done? Okay, she's done. Oh, you're a ham. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to put you down now. All right. Sharon says hi, Naomi.
Sharon says hi.
Hey, come here. Do you want to wave? Do you want to wave? Say bye. Can you say bye? Do you see yourself? Say bye.
Bye.
No? You nervous? No? All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Those are going to be ready in 22 minutes. I'm going to probably steam up some vegetables to go with them. These are amazing. If you have sourdough bread or you're allowed to have sourdough bread, you can have it in that. Also, I have a video up here on grain-free bread. You can have this sandwich in between that. Or you can do what we do, which is we just take the patties and we cover them with mayonnaise and mustard and some ketchup and eat them that way. They're great all those different ways. If she wants her shoes on.
No, Mommy, we can't go back outside. It's getting really windy.
Is it getting really windy?
Yes.
Anyway, so that's all I have for you guys. All the links are down below for cookbook, all those other things. And don't forget, I do have like the Perfect Supplements link. Like there's a 10% off every time you order, so don't forget to use that. Other than that, that's all I got. Are you ready? And we do have a live cooking class scheduled for next week, so I'll see you guys in a week. Okay, now can you say bye? Say bye. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys next week. You're not going to say goodbye? Say bye. Bye.